Hi everyone, my name is Sandy Sam, and I have a story that I would like to share with everyone. I think it's going to bless a lot of people. My story is about cancer, specifically breast cancer. Going back to 2009 is when I first got diagnosed. 2009, and it just about changed my life. When they told me after I had the test that it was positive for cancer. And the first thing that I said, the devil is a liar. He is a liar, and there's no truth in him. So that journey lasted from 2009. I was cancer free in 2010. And I was cancer free from 2010 to 2023. And it reoccurred again. And this time, that was the second time. It was very unexpected because I thought once you get a double mastectomy, cancer can't come back anymore. That was my thought. So I was quite surprised and taken back when I felt the lump in my breast by doing a self examination. And what happened was I went to my oncologist and he thought it might have been some type of scar tissue because it was extremely hard. It was like a rock. So when I went to get the biopsy, and they did the biopsy, and the doctor that had done the biopsy said that it was like cement. And this was very unusual. It was like, if you have somebody that's doing concrete and you have to go through concrete, that's how she described it was. So, of course, eventually I had to have surgery, and I had surgery, and the wonderful surgeon that did my surgery, she said it was like surgery that was out of the box because it was at the top of my breast and it was underneath my arm, and it left a hole. The hole was very large underneath my arm. So what happened was she did the surgery, removed the cancer, and then the next surgeon came in that had to put I have implants, that had to put the implant back in. And he had to close up this hole. And I found out about it after the surgery. So that kind of shocked me. So then the first time I got a look at it, I remember going to the store because I wanted to get a top, right, that I could wear that would be comfortable. So I got the top, and that's the first time that I saw something that didn't even look like it was ever going to make me look normal. So it took some time, and after the shock, I was okay. Because once I see something and I know what I'm dealing with, you have to go forward. You have to deal with it, right? Because the God that you serve is a mighty God, awesome God. So time went by, and I was going back for my examinations and what have you, and everything looked like it was going fine until 6 months ago. Okay, 6 months ago. And they wanted me to go for a PET scan because, when you go to the oncologist, the first thing they want to do is they want to give you a blood test. So as a result of the blood test, he saw an uptake in the tumors, right? So they wanted to give me this special blood test. And I was saying, God, I used to always brag on God of what he had done in my life. So I bragged so much about him. I said, God, don't let me be ashamed because I bragged about you so much. So I know that if you did it one time, you're going to do it again. Okay. So I had to put on my big girl pants, okay? And I had to face up to what I had to do, which wasn't a problem because you know what? Something that I learned through the years, I learned how to encourage myself because sometimes we don't have the right people around us. We don't have the ones that believe like we believe. So we have to know how to encourage ourselves, right? So I went for the test and some things lit up through the PET scan. They saw it lit up in my back, it lit up in my thyroid, And I'm trying to think of someplace else that lit up, but that's not important right now. So I'm just so very, very grateful to come before you at this time as I go along with my story. So during that time, oh, one other very important thing, and I know I'm going to have maybe somebody that don't agree with me, but I don't care. I don't care. I know what I'm going to do. And believe me, my doctor, he knows what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. He's had a lot of experience with me. One thing I didn't do, I'm not taking no chemo. I'm not taking no radiation. That's off the table. Completely off the table. So anyway, so I'm praying and I'm seeking God. God, what shall I do? So guess what? God told me. And the door opened up for me to do something that I heard from a dear, dear friend of mine. So I'm going to tell you all what it is, but just bear with me a second. But I want to tell you about the awesome God that I serve. So what I did, I started doing what God had told me to do. And I did it for 4 months altogether. But let me tell you how it started. So I skipped 2 doctor's appointments with the oncologist because I wanted to see if this was going to work. Because don't forget, the blood work didn't come out exactly like it was supposed to do. So I missed 2 oncology appointments. So when I finally went and they did the blood test and they came back in, they said, oh, your blood looks really good. So I didn't say anything. I just smiled and I was grateful. I said, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. And I continued to do this. Now, at this particular time, they had to give me a special blood test. Just to double check. I'm going to call it a double check blood test, okay? So that's what I had to do. So I did this. So 4 months came. I gave myself 4 months to do what the Lord told me to do. And I know I haven't said anything, but I'm going to get to that part. Maybe in this YouTube, but you might have to wait to the next YouTube, okay? But I want to tell you something. So the 4 months went, and I had my appointment. I just had my appointment. Hey, what's today's date? Today is November the 11th. I had this appointment November the 3rd. That was the big appointment. So I went in. I had to have another PET scan before this last appointment, which was like a week and a half before November the 4th. So I went into my appointment. Let me push my hair back a little bit so you all can see me good. So I went to this appointment and I was waiting for my doctor to come in the door. I already knew what the results was. I already knew. So anyway, the results came back and he walked through the door and he didn't even go sit down. He just walked through the door, opened up the door and walked in and said, everything was negative. Everything was negative. And he sat down in the chair because he already knew that I knew it was going to be negative. So I have a lot more that I would like to tell you. But I know sometimes I don't want to say too much. I want you all to come back because I want to tell you what God did and what he told me to do. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you the truth. No one has to be sick. You know what you need? You need clean blood. Why do you need clean blood? Because no sickness or disease can stay in your body if your body is clean. And next time, you'll tune back.